Hey,
Hey,
how's it going, Kim?
good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm here in a cabin in the woods. We call
You're
this
in a
my Unabomber cabin.
cabin in the woods.
Yeah. Oh, the light is horrible. Sorry.
It's
See if I
okay.
can get
That's
it a
fine.
little better. What's up? How you doing? I love your headphones.
Thank you. So, yeah, we'll get started, I guess. So now you said you're going to play a little clip of your new single at the end, or
You know what? I don't have that with me. I'm sorry.
okay, so it's just going to be an interview.
Yeah, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
All
perfect.
right.
Just wanted to
Cool.
clarify.
Sure.
Okay. So now, why don't you introduce yourself for everybody who doesn't know you?
Phone just started ringing. I heard why don't you introduce yourself? So I'll do that.
Yeah.
Um, Hi everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in to Kim's show. And by way of introduction, my name's Todd Carey. I'm a singer. I'm a songwriter. I'm a performing artist, and I've known Kim for a very long time. She's been really supportive for what I do. Um, Probably since what, the Nintendo days, I think
Yeah, the
maybe
Nintendo days.
something. Yeah. So um, yeah, I'm a writer and a performer, and yeah, I put out a new song last week called Matthew McConaughey. All right, all right, all right, with Swayze. And I'm excited to be here hanging out with you guys.
Thank you for the confetti, Nicole.
That's so cool. This app is really cool.
Yeah, so what they're doing right now is these are like virtual tips. So, like, the gifts are like virtual tips for like, so it's a
Thanks,
cool thing.
everyone.
So, now, how did you get started in music and what drew you into the music industry?
Well, what drew me into music is different than the music industry because I'm music is what I'm all about, not necessarily the music industry. The music industry is not my favorite thing, and I think most like musicians will tell you that.
Yeah.
But music, yeah, I think it was part of my family really early. My dad and I had this great relationship where he would just play me a lot of music and all different kinds of music, everything, from the classic rock stuff and pop from the Beatles to classical music to jazz. He was really into jazz and, classic soul and Motown. And I mean, literally everything. He got me into everything. So he instilled this love of just music in me. And my mom kind of had the more technical ability. She was a music major in college and taught music to grade schoolers, and so the execution part was from her. So that's what got me into it early on. And as far as like wanting to kind of do it as a living, I started performing for people at parties in like junior high and high school, and it was the first time like anyone ever really paid attention to me. So
Yeah.
I just kept doing it, basically.
Yeah. Okay, so now you just released Matthew McConaughey with Swayze, like you said.
Hmm.
Um, why don't you tell us about the song and also why Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah, it's a good question. Well, the song is part of several songs that I have been slowly putting out for an album over the last year, starting in April of 2019, up right through June 2020 this year. And Matthew McConaughey is the fifth single from my upcoming album. The reason that it's called Matthew McConaughey, which is a very good question, Ken, is Matthew McConaughey is known. Um, from his first movie role in the movie Dazed and Confused as a character who used the phrase, all right, all right, all right. And I'm not sure if anyone here in the chat has ever heard that before. I see a few people chiming in. If you guys have heard that, let us know. Send us some confetti or something. But I think he used it a little more in other roles later, possibly. But really, it's from the movie Dazed and Confused. And the reason we ended up calling the song Matthew McConaughey is because when I wrote it one afternoon in Nashville, wrote it in about 45 minutes. Okay, we have Zin 2988 is saying best movie ever. So I got some people here who know what I'm talking about. Right on, Zin, you're the man. Jessica says, all right, all right, all right. She's feeling it. We got a raised hand down here. Okay, thank you guys. Cool to know that you're with us. So when I wrote the song, we wrote it in one afternoon in Nashville about a year ago. And we had this song and we were singing it, and it was like, the chorus was like, all right, all right, all right, all right. And we kept singing it over and over. And it was kind of like a sexy love song. And a friend of mine was like, oh, like Matthew McConaughey. And we were like, oh my God, we have to call the song Matthew McConaughey. And then I started adding like samples of his voice throughout. So the song is not about Matthew McConaughey, nor does it mention his name. It's just like inspired by that character's vibe, which is like sexy, you know, stonery. Swayze, who performs on the song with me, is really known. I'm not sure if anyone in the chat here knows Swayze by any chance, but there was that song Corona and Lime and Buzzin', which are like party songs. So Swayze was really into that vibe, and it just kind of all fell together. It was one of those songs that got written really quickly, which I found a lot of the good ones come together really fast. And yeah, it was just kind of magic a little bit. And especially the Matthew McConaughey part was like totally coincidence.
Yeah, so how did you and Swayze end up connecting?
After I finished the song, we were I was looking for people to join because I thought it was missing something. Sorry,
yeah.
I'm distracted. We were looking for people to connect with to be part of the song. And we talked to a few artists. One of them was MKTO. I don't know if you guys know who MKTO is. Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
So they really liked the song and they were into it and wanted to be part of it, but it just didn't work out. I think they were like super busy touring and just weren't able to do it. And then kind of serendipitously, a friend of mine was like a big Swayze fan and was like, he would be so perfect on this song, you know? And I thought, oh man, he would be so perfect. And it's like, is complimentary to what I do. I'm kind of a singer-songwriter and he's like a party rapper singer. So we thought it'd be really cool to have him on it. So I got in touch with him and I sent him the song and he was like, yeah, I really like this. I feel it. And within 2 weeks he had like sent a verse back to me, and it was like the rest of the song came together magically. There was no effort. It was just first try. It just sounded great.
Yeah.
And it didn't really take a lot of labor, you know, like a lot of songs I've worked on. So that's how Swayze got involved.
That's pretty cool.
Thanks.
So now, for people who don't know you, what could they expect if they came out to one of your shows?
Well, that's a good question. Kim, have you been out to my shows? I think you have, right? If I see you at a concert?
I have not.
Okay. Well, so then it's a valid question.
Yeah.
Let's see. My shows are high, believe it or not, given the very low intensity of this conversation here in a cabin in the woods. My shows are very, I think, like, word number one is fun. Number two, you know, the idea of like a concert for me is communal, which is such an interesting concept in summer of 2020, you know, when we're supposed to be apart from each other. We're supposed to social distance. So my concerts are all about celebrating, having fun, singing, dancing, partying, and the music takes you there. So that's what you can expect from my concert. A good time. That
Thanks for the party parrot, Nicole.
was awesome.
Yeah.
Party parrot. Thanks,
Yeah, it's called
Nicole.
the party. So now you've toured many places. What has been a favorite city to play in?
I always love playing in Chicago. I'm from there originally, and I just think that Chicago has a really good mix of all the cities. It's kind of right in the middle of the country, and it's got some of the energy of New York, and it's got some of the laid backness of LA. And I think people just really are supportive of their musicians in Chicago, and they like to party. So I love Chicago. I would have to say that would be choice number one, but concerts and music are a funny thing, and you never know when things are just gonna emerge into something special. So any night of the week, honestly, anywhere could be the one. I've had some of my best shows in the most random places you could ever imagine.
Yeah. So now, who are your musical inspirations? I know you touched base on that a little bit before.
Yeah, it's tricky because I'm just such a general music lover, but the music I make is falls into a pretty, or it did for a long time, falls into a pretty narrow niche of like pop, pop guy, singer, songwriter. I've been trying to kind of move away from that. I really think that this song, Matthew McConaughey, is like a departure because Swayze's on it and it's fun and different and like. So to answer your question, like I listen to everything. I listen to a lot of improvisational music. I listen to a lot of classic jam bands like the Grateful Dead and Fish. I love the Beatles. I love new singer songwriters. Like any self-respecting guy who does what I do. We love John Mayer. What's on my playlist at the moment is like a lot of. I've been listening constantly to this new album by Phoebe Bridges. Have you ever heard of Phoebe Bridges?
I have not.
Singer-songwriter, young, probably 24, 25. She's incredible. Been listening to a lot of 1975. I don't know if anybody here knows 1975.
I do.
Love that band. I played a show with them a couple years ago and was like, just felt lucky to be on the same stage as them. Yeah, that's what's been on the playlist. 1975, Phoebe Bridges, and then lots of Grateful Dead, basically.
That's good. So now you've been releasing music for like a decade now. I feel like. So, as a singer-songwriter, what have you taken away from the constant growing industry to stay relevant?
It's a good question. I feel like I've taken my time more than anything. With the way we are operating, everyone, it's about volume, putting out a lot of social posts, putting out a lot of music, putting out a lot of stuff. And for better or for worse, and oftentimes worse, I've been really slow in putting out my music. Like you were saying, it's been a decade. I put out 2 full-length albums, a few EPs, and a few singles. And the album is my next album, my 3rd real album, is about to come out. And I don't know. For better or for worse, I think that's distinguished me a little bit as someone who is careful with what I release. Like I don't put stuff out haphazardly. When I write a song, it doesn't come out on Spotify or YouTube or wherever, or on an album without me playing it at 30 concerts first. So like,
Yeah.
I know what that song is about by the time it hits your playlist. Like, I know if it works at a concert. I know if it sucks. I know if it's great. So I would say I've done that a little differently than most people. Like, I spend the time with these songs before they come out, for better or for worse.
So now, what's next for you?
Good question. My next album, Matthew McConaughey is the 5th song, and the final song will come out with the entire album. Probably 10 songs, 11 songs total. At this point, it's likely going to be August, but it could be September. So probably September, I would say.
Yeah.
Something like that. But soon, it's happening.
So now, what's some advice for anyone who wants to follow in your footsteps in the music?
Okay. First of all, I just want to thank the people down in the chat being really sweet. Nicole, yes, love it. Jessica, thank you for all your comments. Dash is here. Let's see. Can you ask that question again, Kim? I was distracted looking at all our friends who are here.
Yeah, no. I said, what's some advice for anyone who wants to follow in your footsteps in the music
Oh man,
industry?
it's not for the faint-hearted. I'll just say that it's
Yeah.
it just depends on your ambitions. If you want to do this for a living, it's not easy. It is just not easy, and it's extremely rewarding when things are going well, and when the stuff is good, it's great. And you just got to have a strong stomach. You have to be able to take criticism. That's huge, I think. I don't think a lot of people are open to hearing when things need improvement. And that's something that I've really developed over the years. I think that patience is major, 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 and it's hard to be patient. I think that, and I think finally you just have to literally be in love with making music, putting out music, and you have to be committed to it being what you do. Otherwise, I mean, anyone can just write a song and put it out on Spotify, and that's great, and they should. But if they want to make like a living doing this, I think that it's something that you should really kind of research and talk to people who do it before you make that call, because it's tough for sure.
Okay. So now this is my last question for you. Well, it's not a question, but it's plug in your social media. Where can people find you? Where can people listen to your music?
Thanks, Kim. Well, the first thing the thing that I would plug the most is just my new music. That song, Matthew McConaughey. Open up your Spotify. Are you a Spotify user, Kim?
I'm an Apple Music.
Apple Music. Open up your Spotify. Open up your Apple Music. Open up your YouTube and search Todd, Carey, Matthew McConaughey. That would be the most kind of supportive to me, and I would really appreciate anyone who's here doing that. And then saving it to your playlist, whether it's on Apple Music or Spotify, or favoring it on YouTube or giving it a star. I'd appreciate that more than anything. If you're really into what I do and you want to be in it for the long haul, shoot me a text. I'm really good at responding to text messages. I'm going to put my number in the chat right now.
You are.
It's 323-405-9535. And if you do that, I can keep you posted on when things are coming out and stuff. And then, of course, Instagram, Twitter, all those lovely places. I'm at Todd Carey. Very easy.
Nice. Well, it was nice talking to you. Thank you for coming, even though
Thanks for having me, Kim. I appreciate your support after all this time.
Of course. And once this pandemic blows over, I'll have to make it out to a show.
Can't wait. And thank you again, Kim. Congratulations on your show. And thank you to everyone who's been listening today. Nicole, Dollar Profit just joined. Thank you. Thanks, Jessica. Thank you, Dash. Did I already say Dash? Thanks everyone for listening and watching. Hope to see you guys again. Appreciate you.
I'll exit out for you.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. All right, guys. There you have it. That was Todd Carey. Thank you again, Todd, for joining us. So now we have Reese Maston coming up. Reese is going to be joining in about 20